I'm always right. I'm always right.
What is going on, everybody? We're here to ask the question today: is Pepe dead, or can it have a little bit of a revival? And before we do that, I'm going to ask you to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to be notified of future content. We are here talking about Pepe and the volume, the market cap. We want to look at everything. We want to make a determination: is Pepe dead, or is it not? And that's the question. And let's kick it off right now with. This is a chart showing the trend line here for perpetual futures on Pepe. Now, you've seen what can only be described as just a ridiculous set of circumstances here as it channels in this little range here. Now, when I started off and I showed you this right here, you're probably looking at it like, what the hell is going on right here? Well, it's because it hasn't been drawn out. I'm going to draw it out a little bit. You can see this is a perfect money-making opportunity if you are a perpetual futures trader, because you've got a big pattern of predictability where you're going from the bottom of this channel all the way up to the top, through the bottom again. And if you're taking a long position when it hits down here, going into a short position when it hits up here, and just kind of playing this chart, except for this little breakout to the bottom and this little breakout to the bottom right here, this has been an absolute banger of a moneymaker up and down these charts, with respect being showed to the heart line as well. So if you want to take that opportunity, then you could even be trading along the heart line, which, by the way, is about 11%. So big trade volume. So is it dead? Absolutely not. Now, the one thing that is important is this is the trending over time. It had at one point, it was the hottest thing on Google searches, and it has died down so far to the 30s just recently. But in the last couple of days, interest seems to be picking back up. Now, interest is picking back up since the third data comes out a few days behind. But we are looking at a reversal of the trend. We knew it was coming. You could see it's coming. And then over here, you could see on the Uniswap chart that, pretty much trending along the lines of perpetual futures. You see the drop down right there. That channel, as you can see, is really just kind of the same thing. Again, if you draw it out, then it looks a little bit, and this does represent great trade volume for you if you're looking to make any kind of play. And in fact, right now, you're kind of in the heart line, so this is not the place to enter a position. The place to enter a position is this blue line or this blue line over here, knowing that there is some variance and there is some range in between these, and that variance is about 14% right now. That's a significant amount if you're playing this up and down. So if you're not doing perpetual futures trading, is it still alive? Well, yeah, it is, but here is the biggest issue, right? Biggest issue is the volume is down to $5 million, $5.4 million in 24-hour volume on Uniswap. Where's it going everywhere else? Well, everywhere else, the total volume is 295 million. Now it's been spread out amongst exchanges, so it's become a little bit more centralized. A couple days ago, it was trading down here in the 100 million, 200 million volume range, and that didn't look very good. But then we started to get this little spike, and this spike has moved us up back into 290, close to 300 million market range. Now, does that seem like a dead token to you? Because it doesn't really to me. However, it doesn't look like something that has the capacity right now to pump. And the reason for that is very simple. It used to be that the only thing that people were talking about was Pepe. Now we're talking about nothing. You get nothing. Now we're talking about things that are not Pepe related. Now we're talking about something different. At one point, even the biggest of the big people were out here. They were just talking about Pepe because that was the one that moves it. Now, suddenly, it's not all the rage anymore. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means that you probably are going to look at some significant downside. Now, you might get a spike. This was indicative of a nice little spike. When you look at this trend here, you see the spike happen. If you bought in down here, and by the way, guys, if you don't follow me on my live streams, I told you guys this was about to happen. And it had nothing to do with the Binance issues, et cetera, et cetera. It was just due to come down and then make another little bounce back to the upside. So it came down here deep, and then it had another ride back up here into 1258. And then, of course, you started to see other influencers saying, oh, God, it's mooning, dog. It's going to go to 100 million, billion, jillion. It's not going there, right? But it is a great opportunity for you to make plays. Now, here's the thing. Is this dead? Absolutely not. 445 million market cap, 300 million in daily volume. That's the kind of stuff that most tokens could only dream of. Now, where is the price action going to go? Well, if it doesn't spike, and if we don't see a massive move to, let's call it 502, if we don't see a massive move back there to fix a lot of people who put a lot of faith in this downside as just a dip, and they bought the dip. If we don't see a move back towards, I want to say around 2000. By the way, there's going to be significant resistance along that path because of the volume. But if we don't see a rally to around 2000 pretty soon, then we are going to see some real lower and lower downside momentum. Okay. You have to be fair about your position here, and you have to recognize that it is heading in a downward fashion, right? This descending sort of channel here, if you break this out a different way, then it does become a descending wedge. Now, descending wedge does tend to break to the upside, but doesn't break as high as an all-time high. It doesn't work that way. What you're going to do is you're going to continue to mint lower lows as we go along in this path. So even if I told you that this, and we'll do this real quick, but even if I told you this was going to be some downward momentum and that we have an ascending wedge, it's going to break out, right? If you're sitting in the market at this point right here, you're going to feel all of this all the way down here into the 8s. And by the way, if you notice, there is a line right here, and I'm not predicting this, but I'm saying that there's a breakout spot right here. This is a line of resistance. This is a spot, and it just so happens to break out right at the end of this little descending wedge pattern. So, what you are looking at is you're looking at a significant potential break to the upside. However, it's going to take you getting down here. So if you're not invested in Pepe, then a good move would be to make your play into Pepe, not right now. This is the top of a channel. You do not invest at the top. That's irresponsible of you. I don't want you to be irresponsible. Now, do you want some pie in the sky? Sure, we all do. But does that really work? No, it doesn't. So let's wait until it comes down here. When we come down here, we test the bottom. And to be fair, like even if you're a little nervous right now, and you could look, there's a heart line right here. And this is basically, it's just the middle, right? You can see right now that it trends and it's getting closer and closer to kind of the middle heart line right there with, maybe you can call it this right here. But look, don't get over invested into something until you find a low and a bottom, and then play it to the top. And when it gets to that top, reverse it. This is perpetual futures. Go short it all the way back down here. It doesn't mean you don't love Pepe. Doesn't mean you're not Pepe oriented. Doesn't mean you're not a Pepe fan. It means you're trying to make money. Money is what we're here for. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. I don't think Pepe's dead. I think there's plenty of money to be made, but you have to be the person to make that money. It doesn't just come from long-term hodling, not at this point. When the market changes and we get into an actual bull run with a lot of volume, with a lot of trading, Pepe's got a bright future, most probably. But for right now, this is what it is. This is perpetual futures trading dream. Play the top, play the bottom, don't get wrecked. We'll talk to you again soon. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Hope you had a good time. Hope you enjoyed the show. Remember to sign up for MEXC, BitGet, and NordVPN down in the links.
I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this.